Hello, everybody. It is Friday, June 16th, 2023. It's Friday, so I hope everybody is planning a nice weekend. Please remember that everything is for entertainment purposes only, so do your own research, make your own opinion, form your own opinions. I've got stuff to cover here. It's a few pages. So, and it's no random order. So if you're looking to hear something in particular, you're going to have to listen to the whole video because it's not chopped up today. One thing that I started noticing is that, people are making noise about, they're moving to Florida and so forth. And people who are moving down there, you have to realize, who are you going to be buying a house from? There's not a lot of new construction happening. They want something, they're buying existing housing. Now, why are Floridians who've been there for 10 plus years selling their houses? A lot of them are leaving because they don't like stuff that's going on, particularly nonsense with Ronnie. Now, the people who made Florida the great state it is, they're picking up and bugging out, and they're heading up to South Carolina. They're going up to the land of Tim Scott. So the people who made Florida great are getting the heck out. They're going to South Carolina. And the fools that are trying to leave states that have gone icky, like Illinois, they're going down and they're paying top dollar for these houses where the people who know what's actually going on are bugging out from. So it's kind of ironic. And people need to remember that the upset that started in 1861, the first Pow Pows were in South Carolina at Fort Sumter. So could South Carolina be leading us again into disruption in favor of states to protect states' rights? Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. So I have a feeling that's maybe something that's happening. Now, something else on another channel. Come on. This woman, her hook is mispronouncing things. So when somebody is given an order by a member of the royal family, they are then referred to by Dame. Like Dame Judi Dench. Not the mispronunciation the other person made. But that person, you can try to correct her, but she doesn't like being corrected. Now, I noticed the stuff on the Heritage Foundation website, and I guess it's Homeland Security, which is run by the JoJo's people. They're the ones who are blocking everybody from seeing Henry's visa. So it's Homeland Security, JoJo's minions, or I should say, Obama, Bean Brain made the decision and is funneling it through JoJo's administration. People are also making comments about, what the women in the royal family are wearing. Yes. QE2 didn't like wedge shoes. Well, if you look at the shoes that were wedgies during the 30s, 40s, and 50s, they were gosh darn ugly, so I could understand why she hated those. But if you pay attention, yes, many of the royal ladies are now wearing wedgies, because if they're going to be on their feet all day, they're a lot more stable. You have less lower back pain, and especially if you're going to be in grass and so forth, stiletto heels sink in the mud. So, yes, you need a solid platform. You need to be wearing the wedgies. So, it's now basically, yes, the styles are prettier, but they're more practical for a lot of things that are happening. Now something else. Some people on from a certain network, on one of the networks, they've been talking about this shiny, happy people nonsense. I mean, it's that extreme cult-like Christian organization. Well, now people who are on the production crew are starting to speak about stuff behind the scenes. So keep your ears open for that. And if they're starting to talk about like the extreme religious group, those production people, people start anticipating, because the production crew and some of the interns that worked on things from a Canadian show that was a legal-based TV fantasy show that was supposedly based in Chicago, but in reality it was filmed up in Toronto. More and more stuff is going to start being leaked out from people who worked crew, and more things to rattle the cages of people of a certain woman. It's start going to come out. Unfortunately, the stuff that was filmed for a distribution company that started by sending out DVDs in the mail, those unfortunate interns got locked into an ironclad NDA. So basically, they used unpaid students, film students, and they got roped into signing an NDA, an ironclad non-disclosure agreement, but they were just told it was a Netflix project. But when they found out what it was, they had already agreed to be on it, and unfortunately, a lot of them wasted their time and can't even put it on their CV. And some of them are embarrassed to admit they even worked on it, so it's not even on there. A lot of wasted time. And now, going back to that family that is super religious, some things may be brought into open court because, thanks to Jackie Coogan, there are all sorts of new laws pertaining to child labor when kids are being filmed. So with this expose docuseries, that may trigger an investigation by Child Services to make sure that all the child labor laws were upheld, and the fact that the father signed the contract but the children were being used, a percentage of that money that he received needed to be put into individual trust accounts for the minor children. So expect that to be popping up, and it's not going to look good for Daddy Dear. He's going to be found out, I think, pretty much for fraud. Yeah, fraud for him. It's not going to be pretty. He may be going the same way as his older son, but just for different charges. Now, there's one streaming thing. It's a streaming channel. It's out of India. It's WION. Now, they are, a few days ago, you might have to pick through it, go back, and hopefully it's still up. They did a story recently on basically cloned children, where there's a laboratory that is taking cells, samples of cells from infants, from children, from people. And in the lab, they are actually growing them into humans without the donation of a brand new egg or the swimmers that are needed to fertilize the egg. So this gives a whole new creepy vibe to the term test tube baby. But it was on WION streaming channel, and I think this was about, right now it's like 9:20 Central Standard Time in the morning. This was up maybe 36 hours ago. So poke around for it. Now again, through Reuters, they had an article pertaining to Blinken. Yeah, our scumball Secretary of State, who's worse than Hillary, more of a traitor than Hillary. He's now going after the British royal family because the British royal family wants basically the USA to stay out of their business. And they also, the Big Red Sea. The Big Red Sea wants America to stay out of, not the British royal family, it's the Big Red Sea. I can't read my own handwriting some days. Yeah, Reuters has reported that Blinken and in the big, this was maybe 24 hours ago, they were reporting that the Big Red Sea wants the USA to stay out of all the stuff that the Big Red Sea is doing. And they're wanting the American government to give the Big Red Sea permission. Now, more on that later. I have more notes on that. Stuff is going on with Boris Johnson, and he's now, since he's resigned from his office, he's now starting to call out all the nonsense that's been going on. And just wait, the more he talks, the more nastiness is going to explode about what's going on in the House of Commons, and it's not going to look good for Rishi or Sadiq. Rishi and Sadiq are going to go up in smoke because Boris is really going to be blowing the whistle on everything that's going on. So be prepared. I have a feeling that Charles is going to be having another prime minister very, very soon. The other thing that's going on is like, yeah, they're making news on the European side because you see a boat sunk off the coast of Greece. And it was filled with refugees. Well, the upper decks, it was all men who, my gut feeling, it's basically they're military age men, and they were all on the upper decks. I keep getting this, I hate using this term, but it's IS. It's guys who belong to that group. Yeah, they bring women and children over as a cover, but on this boat that sunk, The men were all on the upper decks, so they were able to get out and get onto floating devices so they could possibly be rescued. Whereas, because people of that ilk treat women like garbage, the women and children were locked on the lower decks, and they didn't stand a chance. And these are boats that are going down in the Greek waters. So expect more to come out about that. And they're all new stuff that's hitting the fan is that the blue and yellow flag country is admitting that they are using stuff from the country of wine and cheese, supplies from them. That's what they're using to go boom boom with. It's like the group that goes by NATO. They keep on escalating things, because if we have a WW3, look back at WW2. The donkeys were in office back then, and during the middle of a WW, it is highly unlikely for when there's the big job interview come November for the government to switch from donkey to elephant. If they're donkeys in office, they're going to keep the donkeys because they don't want to switch administration styles. So a lot of places are trying to escalate the stuff and help that dude who walks around in a sweatshirt all the time and the blue and yellow flag country to cause more interruption so they don't change administration styles at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. They want to keep the donkeys in office. So this is basically, they want to make things even more of a mess in Europe. And more and more stuff is coming out with the Big Red Sea is now admitting that they're using hackers to get into a lot of government programs, including Google. Now, this platform that this video is being streamed on, I wonder if the Big Red Sea, I use a VPN, and I try to keep up to date on everything, but I'm wondering, it's like, have they hacked into it? Has someone been able to hack into a back door and it's hacked in for the Big Red Sea? And so, it's questions. Now, one of the things that I saw recently, and I saw it on the news, is that Germany has now allocated more funds. And now they have to cough up money to, still there are survivors from World War II that were persecuted. And so Germany is going to be coughing up more money. It's like they're quoting, it's supposed to be in the billions of Deutschmarks or euros. But these people only are getting like anywhere from between 1,300 and 1,500 euros per year for the next 3-4 years. And it's ironic that people here in the United States, because of their skin color, are wanting $2 million each. But the people who really can prove that they were persecuted are maybe going to get less than another 5,000 euros. That's less than 10,000 American dollars. So kind of whacked. There's something on this page I'll come back to. And now they're saying Henry and Rachel are now, someone has now admitted that she tipped off the people with the drones, you know, the people that were flying over Tyler Perry's house and stuff. She's the one, or she had somebody tip off the drone operators as to where their location is, so they could be flying over it. And I guess Tyler Perry is super ticked off because of that. People now have a great blueprint of his property, which could be a big personal security issue for himself. So he's really ticked off about it. And yeah, Ted Cruz, he actually went on the news and said, yeah, it's, people are now calling this country a banana republic because the FBI is acting on behalf of JoJo's Homeland Security. And Homeland Security is basically under JoJo's direction. And they're the ones who are stopping the release of Henry's visa application. And the director of the three-letter agency, I mean, there's stuff happening. I mean, there's like a 1023 that's not being surrendered. Because if they start handing over the stuff like his visa stuff, JoJo's House of Cards will come tumbling down. This is the first card to just, the whole donkeys will disintegrate. So that's why they're holding on so hard and tight to his visa app, because if it becomes released, the rest of the nonsense is going to come blowing up in their faces. Now we know that Blinken is going to the Big Red Sea this weekend. And heaven only knows what he is going to agree to. I think Blinken's going to come back with a piece of paper like Neville Chamberlain did. I think Blinken is going to basically tell the Big Red Sea that we won't be involved in helping out Taiwan, which ties into why Nutsy P was over visiting Taiwan a few weeks ago. I think she went over there to inform the embassy personnel to get their stuff ready to get the heck out of Dodge, to get the American citizens out of there, or people who, her favorites, the people who are loyal to JoJo, to get off the island of Taiwan. Because Blinken, when he's talking with the Big Red Sea this weekend, I'm getting the feeling that he's going to tell them, hey, we won't get involved with them taking over the island. I keep getting a feeling he's going to sell us out. And like I said in my other video, it's like those of us who have a gut feeling, who remember things, who are old enough to know the real history of the world, they're going to try pushing the little red books onto us. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, while I was getting ready, I was just feeling it's hard to say, but what I was getting is scary. Very scary. Like, if anyone has been watching that Karine, whatever her face is, you know, that stupid KGP. You know, she always avoids answering any question that is remotely political because, yeah, she's having to follow the directive of Bean Brain. And those of us, especially in Chicago, know what Bean Brain's all about and the destruction of America. I mean, go back and listen to his favorite religious leader, Reverend Wright. Get a barf bag ready. I mean, JoJo's admin. JoJo's basically a farce. He's no longer functioning. Bean Brain's pulling the strings. He's telling everybody what to do. Blinken is now following the directive because Bean Brain basically is selling us out to the Big Red Sea. And anybody whose complexion is lighter than a brown paper bag, we're basically SOL. Okay? I want to use another term, but I can't. Yeah, we're basically out of luck because it's Bean Brain, even though he's half and half, he's playing up to the dark side of his complexion. And he feels that that's who should be running things. And he's also pushing because I have a feeling that the person who calls themselves Michelle is actually a guy by the name of Michael. Well, I wish it was back in the early 2000s, there were pictures of him in the National Enquirer. If somebody has it, maybe they wrapped up something that they packed up in a box. They had it on the front page of him playing tonsil hockey with a white guy. I had it, I saved it, but because of circumstances with a trade union, it went bye-bye. Yeah, and be careful because, yeah, it's anybody has any affiliation with Bean Brain, be it anyone even with his old law firm, Minor, Barnhill, and Gallen. If you're not as dark as Bean Brain, they will intentionally make sure that you get this fuzzy end of the lollipop. Unfortunately, I found out too late. But I can continually to tell people about how I was treated by that attorney who's now a federal magistrate. And I can do it, and I hope anyone who has to deal with Jeffrey Irvin Cummings switches out and complains about him. He is a minion of Bean Brain. Be careful of anyone who is appointed or is friendly with Bean Brain. He is not to be trusted. He wants to see the destruction of our former way of life. We need to get rid of the current admin because they want to control everything. People were foolish enough to stay in their houses for 2 to 3 years. I still see people walking around with face diapers. I refuse to be. No one tells me what to do. Least of all, some government agency. I never wore a mask. Never took the liquid. My only concession? As soon as I walked in the house, good old-fashioned Ivory soap, and I kicked my shoes off. But, like I was saying, when I was getting dressed, getting ready for this today, excuse me, I was overwhelmed, and I still am having the biggest feelings of dread that something horrible is happening or will happen in a very short time frame. And it's literally making me sick to my stomach. If I will be tuning into a news station and have the radio on later after I finish filming this, and it's an alternative station. And I'm going to keep my ears open because something not good, I don't know if it's something personal for me or something for that will affect everybody. Something not good is happening, and it's not weather related. I know there's storms going through the Indian Ocean. I know there's bad weather going through Texas. But this feeling of oppression, it's not weather related. I can't put my finger on it. I am going to try and do some more thinking on it. So if I do pop up with something, I will do a real fast video and pop in fast and just throw it up there super quick. So this is, like I said, it's being filmed in during the 9 o'clock hour, 9 a.m. hour Central Standard Time. If something wonky does pop up before the release time at 4:30 this afternoon, I will throw up a video just to, boom, pop it up real fast with it'll go up as soon as it uploads. So, yeah, it's Friday. It's the 16th. I'll be talking to everybody on Sunday, Father's Day. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a good Shabbos. Enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll be talking to you on Sunday. Hopefully, I won't have to talk to you until I make a video Sunday morning. But if something does come up, I will be throwing a video up real fast. Thank you for watching, listening, and, all the YouTube-y stuff. It's like, click the thumb, share it to your friends. Leave a comment down there. So, everybody have a good one. I'll be talking to you on Sunday morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.